Okay, very quickly. The first one is Robert from Kidderminster has written Alex, why don't you do the podcast on your own? It would be immeasurably better. Robert.
Robert from Kidderminster.
Yeah.
That just happens to be my dad's name.
And where is he? Yeah, okay, I made that one up. But this is from Robert from Kidderminster. And it just says, Dear Alex, great show. The James one with the big hair hasn't got ADHD, really. He's just showing off. So do with that what you will.
Thanks for that again. Just for those who may not have listened to the last podcast, Robert from Kidderminster rings a bell. Same name as my dad, funnily enough, isn't it? But so that one's a great bit of feedback. Thanks, Robert from Kidderminster.
I've made that one up. Can I read one out?
Can I stop you there, because our 10 listeners are all now aware that you're going to say Robert from Kidderminster. So if you could just move on to the actual email and save them the bother.
Okay, I'll straight to the real one. Then we've had an email from Sylvia from the West Midlands region, and Sylvia's asked me to point out. It says, "Dear Alex, great show. Can you point out to James that he hasn't actually got imposter syndrome? He is bad at everything." It's a bit harsh. It is,
especially as Sylvia from the West Midlands area is probably my mum, isn't it, Alex?
From Robert from Kidderminster.
Robert from Kidderminster. Yeah.
Said, why has James got a blue tick on Twitter? Was it administrative error? Thanks, Robert, for the letter. Yes, it absolutely was.
I'm wary of you doing so, but yeah.
We've had a letter from Robert from Kidderminster.
I shouldn't laugh at this.
It's just a picture of a cock and balls with James and an arrow. That's all it is. We've been sent a couple of letters. Can I read one?
No, God.
It's from Robert from Kidderminster, James. It says, listen, last week, can you stop James from talking about filling his hole, please? I'm trying to have my dinner. I've been sent a letter, James. Can I read it out?
Can we just not? Can we not? Can we not? Can we not?
I think it's important to get the thoughts of our community. This is it's from a Robert from Let Me Look. Kidderminster. It says, I read your recent article in the Times, Higher Educational Supplement, and clearly James didn't write any of it. Is that correct? Which I think is an insightful letter. Any thoughts?
It's also correct.
I've been sent a letter, which I want to read out to you.
No. Right. So, two questions.
Mm-hmm.
Is the letter from somebody called Robert?
No.
Right. So, just as a kind of an associated question, is it from somebody from Kidderminster?
No.
Then go ahead.
Right. It's a Robert from Kidderminster. And they've asked, it says, do you know that James is planning to swindle your little charity and run away to just south of Coventry near Kenilworth? So, thanks for that. I've informed the Charity Commission. I've got a real letter. I love my letter. Yeah, good. Yeah, we've had a letter as well from our burgeoning 12 listeners. Do you want me to read it?
No, we haven't. We haven't had a letter.
We have.
It's made up, and so I'm not going to listen. Just not going to listen. Carry on.
We have. It's from Robert from Kidderminster, James. It says, James did have executive dysfunction as a child in the trouser department. Thanks, Robert. That's nice.
Still does.
We have Sam. James' wife Sam's here as well. Can I read from Robert from Kidderminster?
Surprise!
It's a short one. It says James also had executive dysfunction as a child in the trouser department. So that's nice. Thank you, Robert from Kidderminster.
Thanks, Dad.
Can I read a real one?
No.
And we've been sent a letter from Robert from Kidderminster. Just says simply, can you stop flogging this dead horse, please? It isn't funny. Also, James is a knob.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Robert. Thanks, Robert. Cheers, Dad.
Been sent a letter from. I'm just going to check. From Robert. From Robert from Kidderminster.
Robert from Kidderminster. Oh, I wonder what Robert had to say.
Yeah, well, it says, why don't you just call it Alex's ADHD podcast? It sounds better. So we will. Thanks, Robert.
So I just to say that Robert from Kidderminster stayed with me last week, so I'm not sure when he wrote this letter, but I have also had somebody contact us to say that Robert from Kidderminster said the same insult 2 episodes on the trot, that I have executive function in the trouser department. Now, Dad's 91, and therefore he does sometimes forget things, but isn't that interesting, Al?
It is. I know. I'm not saying that his forgetfulness is a problem, but either he's very forgetful or I fucking am. That's embarrassing.
It's probably both, to be fair.
If that Australian guy hasn't been offended by my accent last week. I've been sent a letter.
You haven't?
I have.
Okay. Have you? I'll play along just for it keeps you engaged and happy. I know you're simple. Oh, you've been sent a letter. Who from, Al?
I don't know. It's anonymous. I say letter. It's just a poorly drawn picture of you, James, with an arrow saying disappointment. But the postmark is from Kidderminster, if that means anything to you.
Oh, that's actually a good one. I'll give you credit, Alan. They're normally just utter shite.
I've been sent a letter, James, from Robert from Kidderminster.
Really?
Yeah, it says, I'm just going to read it. It says, James has given me a mood disorder being miserable in the last podcast. That's ableist, Robert. I'm sorry, James. I expect better.
I'll have to have a word with him. I'll have to have a word with him, to be fair, won't I? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to share with you a letter we've been sent from Robert from Kidderminster.
Can I, before we do, can I ask, do you have an exit plan for this bit? Because he's 91, as you know, and at some point,
I do not. Anyway, I've been sent a letter, Robert from Kidderminster. It says, "Dear Alex, long-time listener, first-time letter writer." And the letter says, James didn't have COVID. He had a cold and wanted to be part of the cool kids. Bit harsh, but thank you, Robert.
Thanks,
Robert from Kidderminster. We get so much correspondence in all sorts of things. I've been sent a letter from a Robert from Kidderminster. It says, "Dear Alex, long-time listener, first-time caller." Oh, this one's an imaginary phone call, not a letter. Anyway, he just shouted, "James is a cock," and put the phone down, which was rude.
He does that, though. He does do that. So that's the first one that's believable, Al, to be honest. So, he says, with fear and trepidation, "How are you, Alex?"
I'm very well, thank you, James. Yeah, loving life. Spent the whole day with my good friend James. And we are, as a podcast, in the fantastic position of being about the 3,500th most popular podcast on the internet.
That is brilliantly shit as claims go, isn't it? To be fair,
I can't decide if it's awesome or ridiculous. Brilliant.
It is ridiculous, I think. But yeah, I'm carry on.
One of those, James. I've been sent a letter from a listener. Robert from Kidderminster's written in.
No.
Yeah, seriously, been sent a letter from Robert from Kidderminster. Hi, Robert. It says, "James isn't even the 3,500th most popular person in our house." A bit harsh. No, and we have had a letter though, James, from Robert from Kidderminster's written in.
Yeah, but you've not lost it. You've not lost kind of the thrust for this. You're still happy to do this bit. It's still very much on the agenda, is it, Al?
Anyway, I've been sent a letter from Robert from Kidderminster. It just says, "You look tired, so very tired." I think that one's for me, James. We keep getting correspondence.
Do we?
Yeah, I've got a letter here from the...
You haven't got a letter, have you?
Oh. Well, Robert from Kidderminster. It says, "I'm proud of you, son.